Yeah, so normally I have a motivational message or some scripture, but today I wanted to show you just the beauty of God's creation. I know I have this as a backdrop all the time when I'm bringing a motivational message or a message of encouragement, or so I thought I'd get out. It's the middle of the day, it's probably 95, but I just want to show you these blooms are just incredible to me. And obviously I'm going to turn this into a message as I normally do, but I mean, look at the color of these plants that are just a deep color, and then you get to soft colors. And God made us this way. All of us are made different. We're all made in his likeness, but we're all made differently. Like, this is a ground cover, I think, and it just kind of stays low, and it's a beautiful yellow, and then you got some purple over here. And this is how God created us. He didn't want us to all be the same. He didn't want us to look the same. He didn't want us to smell the same. He didn't want us to say the same things, believe exactly the same thing. Like this guy, this gal, whatever. Look how pretty that bloom is. It only blooms in the morning, like about this time of day. She shuts her blooms, and then I showed you this over there, like, real spiky. Well, a couple of these, turned out to be flat, look like a paintbrush. Well, I'm just telling you. And there's a butterfly right there. And, we might believe just a little bit different things about God, who God is, what God's all about, what God's called us to do. But I know one thing. I want to shine like these plants shine for his glory. Like when we planted these plants, they were tiny. Kind of like someone who just finds the Lord they don't know a whole lot about, but they want their light to shine. And as they grow, they really attract. Like this thing, look how many bees are on it. They attract people as soon as people get mature in the gospel and they start sharing their stories and the goodness of God in their lives. They start to attract people. Like these plants attract butterflies and bees, and I mean, there's just stuff flying all over them. And I think that's what we're made to do. So if you're watching this today, figure out who God has called you to attract, and what your purpose is, what you're supposed to. I can't get away from this. There's probably 10 bees on this on these things, just sucking their nectar or whatever they're doing. There might be more than 10. And you know what? Most people would look at these bees and they'd be bothered by them, like they're afraid to get stung. These bees don't touch me. There's more than 10 on it. God's called us to. He's got a purpose for all of us, and he's called us to be beautiful in his sight, to be an image of him, and to attract people to him through us. So he's created us to be a version of him, to attract people unto him. And we do that by being a genuine person that God created. Not to copy someone else, not to need someone else's gifts or want someone else's gifts, but to be a genuine person that God created, that they see something in us that they want, and we lead them to the Master. We lead them to Jesus. Kind of like this garden does. It attracts all kinds. It's beautiful in many different ways, many colors, attracts a lot to it. And that's what we're called to do. We're called to attract people out of darkness and into his glorious light, kind of like this garden does. So I hope that encourages you today.